back to the Hans thing, a lot of people now dissecting these games they're playing, and they're basically saying, like, even Fabiano Caruana, one of the best players in the world, was on his podcast yesterday, basically saying, "Okay, this is beyond my level," saying, "It's out of my league."
Yeah.
What's that? What's out of your league? You played for the World Championship. Kind of, we get what we can read between the lines, right?
Is it possible that Hans is that level of genius? Is there like different kinds of genius, like where one you could be out of each other's league, kind of thing?
Maybe. In the case of Magnus, it's understanding of endgames. It's just somehow he understands that last phase of the game and the complexities and the problems he can pose better than anybody else.
So you can see Magnus do poor looking moves in the end game,
or
like moves that don't fit what your gut says would be the optimal.
Yes, but also, so it's not that you even think they're right. You just might not even consider them because of over-reliance on your own information or even the computer. That was what was going on in Game 6. Just kept doing things and kept playing and kept finding play and posing those questions that humans and computers could not understand. So he beat the engine, basically. He wouldn't have beaten the engine because they would have defended. Jan lost that game in the 90s move psychologically. He thought the game was over, so that contributed. Computer would have defended.
So by the time this podcast comes out, which I don't know, would be in a week or something like that, I feel like more will happen. Let's see, you're predicting engine. How does this Hans drama end? Saga. Like let's look in 3 months. By the time we get to the next World Championship, let's say, what are the options? What are the possible? Let's imagine. Let's not say like what the probabilities are. What are the options? Chess.com is forced to or agrees to or whatever to come up with a huge amount of evidence of cheating in the past. Or Hans comes out. What can Hans do with this? So I'm uncomfortable with the general. Actually, you could maybe update me on this, but there was a little bit of an attack on him, a lot of an attack, that he's a cheater, right?
Mm-hmm.
Without evidence, without clear, conclusive evidence.
Physical evidence.
So all of those, right?
That's the tricky thing.
Yeah. So like that stuff we're talking about is beyond my level. That starts being kind of intuitive, circumstantial evidence.
There's the statistical evidence behind the over-the-board games that he's played in 2020, 2021, where the games match what's called engine correlation more than Magnus and many other top grandmasters combined. But that can be argued is because he was very strong in playing weaker opposition. So there's always kind of this argument against statistics, right? There's the fact that the guy who Magnus name dropped, Maxim Dlugy. Dlugy is a chess grandmaster, and he's even been, I think, president of the U.S. Chess Federation. I've played him in some Blitz games. It turns out I wasn't even fully aware of the extent of this. He has been banned from chess.com
for cheating.
Have
they actually has him and Hans actually worked together?
Yes. So that was why he name dropped that, right? So that's also not good. You see where this is getting. You still don't have the physical proof, but you have smoke. So I don't know how this ends. I don't know if he denies it to the death and he ends up filing some sort of legal action, some sort of ethics complaint, or he admits everything. I don't know.
But, well, no matter what, I hope, despite chess or not, that he's mentally strong enough for whatever is to come.
That's what I keep saying, because
he's been under fire, right?
Yeah, I can't imagine, right? Like I really can't imagine. And maybe we just have too much compassion, but I don't think so. I really just feel like
at the end of the day, chess is just a game, but it is a game played by millions of people throughout history, and nations have basically fought wars over the chessboard. So like there's a lot. It's like Olympics. Olympics is just a little, just a dude running and so on. The hockey is just a thing with a puck, but it's also much more than that. It's also nations sort of figuring out their conflict in a way that doesn't involve violence. Yeah, it's a serious thing, and it's a thing that inspires. millions of people, and it's a testing ground for intelligent systems that eventually take over human civilization.
Yeah, I know.